In this video, we will review the Neuron MT5 Expert Advisor by Mr. Stanislav Tomilov. Stick around to the end to receive a free Expert Advisor by us at Prosperity Algo Solutions to use for your prop firm challenges. So we can kick ourselves off here on the sales page to get an idea of how this EA works. We can see that there's a lot of description here regarding the use of neural networks. So specifically, it's saying that it's using a multi-layer perceptron neural net, and it uses this to predict market trends and movements. And then he gives a bit of context on how MLPs work. I've also developed MLP models for trading, so can confirm that at least the description appears to be accurate, but it doesn't give a ton of indication regarding how the actual strategy would work. He then indicates that this can trade the euro US dollar and or gold. So this might indicate that it's more of a scalping system as he's picking very low spread assets. And in terms of the strategy, he's indicating that it does not use martingale or grid and no effectively recovery mechanisms. In terms of some over-optimization things which he did, and it's good to see that he does understand how this works. So walk-forward optimization, robustness checks, and a few other different, typically like best practices to do when developing EAs. It's interesting. And if he did all of these things, that would be a very solid indication of a good bot. However, we'll have to actually run a test to see a little bit more about how this system actually works. We can quickly pop through some of these photos here to see that the win rate does indeed look really solid. And now we can move over to the live signal page here to see that to date it has performed exceptionally well. And let's go through the actual trades. And from what I can see, it's had a 100% win rate so far, which is obviously exceptionally good. But the unfortunate thing is 100% win rates with no funny business are usually effectively impossible. So it could be because that there's so few signals here. Perhaps the developer is running hundreds and hundreds of accounts and just picking the best one. But we wouldn't be able to see that just by looking at this one live signal page. And to date, it looks to be performing reasonably well, but unfortunately 100% win rates are typically impossible. So there's either some degree of marketing technique going on here, or perhaps he's just been having an exceptional winning streak to date. But we can now pop over here to our MT5 terminal, where I've taken the liberty of downloading the Neuron MT5 Expert Advisor, and I ran a backtest here using the 8-cap broker on the past year on the H1 timeframe. And as you can see here, the graph looks effectively perfect. If we go through the backtest results here, we had 100% history quality, and we've had literally a 100% win rate. So not a single loser was taken here, which, as you guys would know, is simply statistically impossible. He took 159 trades, and 100% were winners, which is simply not a good sign. Even if you had an enormous stop loss, odds are, without any degree of over-optimization, you would likely hit that stop loss once. But we'll run a visual backtest to get a better idea of how this works. So this is showing that there is a recovery option, but it is currently set to false. Here we can see a take profit stop loss ratio. So supposedly there is a stop loss, but it's not being hit. And even with this ratio, with a significantly higher stop loss relative to take profit, yeah, but it's such a massive, oh, there we go. On second thought, this stop loss is $4,000, so it's absolutely enormous. So odds are we're just simply never hitting it because it's so far away. But still, even with that, it seems odd that you wouldn't see an equity curve which goes enormously into drawdown. But that is something very much to keep in mind. The stop loss is just so enormous that provided we're in a bull market, if you were to, for instance, go long, you'd likely just never hit it. which is quite interesting. Here we can take a look at the equity curve. We see that there are times where there is a drawdown, but let me run a visual backtest to get a better indication how this works. But the key takeaway from the inputs tab is fairly large take profit, but absolutely enormous stop loss. And I'd be willing to bet that the take profit is also likely combined with some sort of trailing stop loss, because that would still be a significant target to wait for it to actually hit. So here, let's run a quick visual backtest to get a better indication. I can drag this over. We can see here that it is running. And yes, let's slow it down a little bit to see if it's placing pending orders. So in terms of how the strategy works, it appears to be more of a breakout system where it would be entering upon the break of a previous local minima, or entering a long position on the break of a previous local maxima. And in terms of gold, this is actually a great strategy. This works really well with gold. So there might actually be a real strategy behind it. Let's just fast forward a little bit. It doesn't appear to be using pending orders. It appears to just be entering. We can see if it's using market orders here. Okay. So yes, it's definitely trading very successfully. Its take profits are reasonably close. And let's just keep running it here for a little bit too. And it has a stop loss which is being moved into take profit. Okay, so to end that quickly, from what I can see it's doing is that it is using a breakout system to trade gold. This appears to be a legitimate strategy, but it does appear to also perhaps have some degree of manipulation behind it. And the reason why that's happening, and why I believe that's happening, is because the win rate is simply too high. A 100% win rate is simply unrealistic, and there could be some degree of manipulation here where they're cherry picking the best trades, or they're over optimizing, or they're going through and trying to essentially eliminate it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is a bad expert advisor. If it's still trading a perfectly viable system, there's a good chance that if you were to run it live, it could still be a profitable bot, but it just wouldn't look quite as rosy as the backtests. So perhaps to sum up this review today is I would definitely monitor it. It does appear to have a legitimate system behind it. However, I would also be a little bit apprehensive that there is, in my opinion at least, a degree of manipulation in the backtests. So something to keep in mind, that you likely will not see a 100% win rate when you run it live. If you do, please let me know. I would love to have a 100% win rate bot. But it does appear to be at least somewhat of a viable bot as well. So let me know if you guys download it, and stick around for the following short clip to receive a free EA from us at Prosperity Algo. Take care. Before you click away, if you're looking to get a real expert advisor, here at Prosperity Algo Solutions, we're currently offering our Golden Time Bomb system based on automating the London breakout and opening range breakout 100% for free. Watch the pinned video to find out more and to get access.